everybody. Welcome to Directly to You, our podcast. We're fanatixfour. I personally am AJ, and I'm joined by Parker. As I said, we're fanatixfour. Yes. YouTube.com/ also twitch.tv/fanatixfour. And you can support us there by clicking the join button or subscribe button, respectively. For $4.99, you get loyalty badges, you get emotes, you get gaming time with us. You get free Switch keys from time to time. You get access to our supporters-only Discord where we talk about things. Brad talks about codes he has and stuff. Duncan talks about how he wants to say yo, yo, yo every time people come into Discord, but he doesn't do it, Sometimes he just says one yo, and A for effort.
Yeah. I mean, that's called the sleeping dog, or what is that yo-yo trick called where it's just like at the bottom, like
you talking about walking the dog?
The sleeping dog, walking the sleepy dog.
All
yeah,
right,
probably walking the dog.
But you can join our Discord regardless if you give us $4.99, because $4.99 is hard to come by now. You can't leave your house, dude. So you can join our Discord and talk about how you just love Animal Crossing, man. It's just because you like socializing and you can't do it right now,
It's true. So at a time.
Yes.
A little. Oh no, you're freezing.
You froze too. But rip. But anyway. Are you playing any video games that are not Animal Crossing?
I played a little bit more of the Bravely Default 2 demo. And I heard other people talk about it, and like it does sound, because they do say at the beginning, like, watch out, it's kind of hard. And I think they really did just like, we're not going to, I don't know how far it goes. I haven't played a whole lot more of it, but I mentioned last week where it's like the first enemy I fought, I was like, okay, that's a little bit challenging. And then I was like, let me walk just a little bit further into this area. And, normally there will be like a 1 level uptick from one area to the next or something like that, to where it's like, if these ones you can beat them without taking too much of a dent, then the next area, it's like, ooh, it'll be hard, but you'll die. And then I mentioned like going into the dungeon, they straight demolished me. It sounds like they tried to get a lot of progression into just one area. So like, I don't know, that seems to be the case where it's like you would actually have to grind in a demo to be able to level up to beat things.
Gross.
Yep. I also forgot to mention last time, the art style of the villages reminds me a little bit of Bastion. That's a thing. There you go. There's that
random connection.
Yeah, I don't.
Not
it's
to
more,
make, but to have.
Right. It's the I mean, not their art styles as characters, because they're kind of chibi-ish, and they remind me more of like Wonderful 101. In their like chibi 3D kind of style. But then when you're in the towns, it's like painted backgrounds kind of things, and very Bastion-esque, because kind of watercolory and stuff. But yeah, it seems all right. I'll play some more of it. I mean, it's just been Animal Crossing other than that. And I downloaded the ARMS free trial thing because we're in the there's the free trial right now. I haven't touched it at all. But it's there. I downloaded it. So
I mean, it's to be fair, it's not really your game. You don't play multiplayer games. You're not competitive, so it's like But I'm playing ARMS. It's cool. I like it. I mean, it was cool, and I liked it when it came out.
True. Did you play it for a long time when it came out?
Yeah, I played it up until there was like a short stint of me not playing it because Splatoon came out, and then I started playing it again, and then stuff happened, and I don't know where my physical copy is. So rip that game. But now I might just freaking download it, because a lot of times every time so far when they've done these game trials, at the end of it they like discount it like 20 to 30%.
That's a good point. I bet they do that.
Jump in and get that for $40 or whatever, and call it a day, because I do like that game, but I can't. There's too many. I play too many competitive fighting games specifically.
Yeah.
And I just don't. There's not enough time to like.
I mean, would you like Smash, obviously, and then would Dragon Ball Fighters be the next?
Yeah,
Fighter Z or whatever be the next one down.
How dare you call it Fighter Z? What a casual dude.
Hey, I did both. Just to show representation for both groups. It's important.
It's fair. That's fair. But that's why I don't play Dragon Ball Fighters, because it's like Smash Brothers trumps all of that. And speaking of, I haven't played Smash Brothers, and so there's like different there's like tech that's specific to certain characters. That's like, man, if you got this character, then you do this technique or whatever, and your button layout has to be different to make that easier. And there's Ivysaur specific. Well, it's not just Ivysaur that does it, but it works really well with Ivysaur. It's called tether cancel because there's recovery as a tether. You can cancel it to like position yourself differently, different things. So like, say I want to, I'm coming back to the stage with Ivysaur and I want to flare blitz somebody, but they're over the stage. What I had to do, or the best way to do that, is to recover, but kind of fake the recovery by canceling it, and that puts Ivysaur like a bit over the platform where you're recovering, and you can immediately switch to Charizard and flare blitz straight at them.
Nice.
Rather than recovering, getting on the stage, jumping, switching to Charizard, and then flare blitzing.
You talking about flare blitz reminds me of you and Sarity, I think, were talking in the Discord about that kid that was playing Pokemon Trainer against Samsora.
Oh, whatever. Yeah. That
I watched that video.
13-year-old.
Yeah, man, a lot. And he was like, "Yeah, flare blitz is the best move in the game." And
I was like, this kid, man. Like, it is like, I hate when, because I guarantee you he's being sarcastic. But people are going to be like, see, it's the best movie. It's like, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, the movie is garbage. But,
yeah. And also, I mean, it's like, it was just funny. Watching that, though, was like, just really funny. It'll be interesting to see if he,
I don't know why such, like, every time there's some, because like Zero and Samsora and like that whole crew of like competitive Smash players that are also content creators. They make these videos of like, this 12-year-old is amazing at this game, and 80% of the time it's Pokemon Trainer. Like, that's who they play. And it's like, I'm telling you, this character's really good, man. And
it's funny.
You got to be a child to understand.
I mean, they're like, Ash Ketchum is a 12-year-old-ish kid.
He's 10, but
sure. But close.
In reality, he's like freaking 32.
So, I mean, you got to be young to really have that connection to the Pokemon and like really understand.
Young, dude.
That's right.
But yeah, all that to say, I changed my button layout so that my left back trigger is special. So that way I can jump. I can press jump and the special button at the same time. I don't have to like move my finger off there. And it makes canceling it easier.
Interesting.
So,
now I know. Now everybody knows how to beat you, though. Just
do they really
break off your left-right trigger from your controller?
That's true, but my jump button still mapped to also X and Y too. So I have 3 different ways to jump, man.
Who even knows, man? Yeah, I don't think I've been playing anything else other than Animal Crossing. But in Animal Crossing, it's been an interesting time as we get into the news. Because Bunny Day is like ruining everything.
It's the worst. Bunny Day sucks, man.
It's so funny. Okay, I need to like, when it first happened, Ashley opened up her Switch on 3 days ago for anybody listening, unless they're listening late, in which case more days ago. But on April 1st, when the event started, Ashley opened up her Switch. She heard a present and was like, oh, a present. And then saw it was a multicolored balloon and was excited. And she was like, a sky egg, what's this? And found out about the event things. And for about 10 minutes, every time she'd find an egg, she was increasingly more excited until it just like hit a wall where she was like, it's too many eggs and I'm stressed out.
Did she get to the point, like, so is she where she's like, all right, I need the fish so I can get money so I can do X, like
it kind of, we play super differently. Her main probably things in the game is really just making her house really good. And so like she does do things where it's like, I just need some money.
Right.
And I'll like min-max and be like, okay, like I don't care about that common butterfly or that yellow but like, oh, there's a peacock butterfly.
Oh,
like,
so she just catches everything. She just
for the most part. Yeah. Like if there's a lot of things, or like, she's like, I'm gonna go on a trip and I'm gonna get some things on a trip. And still sometimes knowing what things are going to be worth more and other times not. I mean, like some things I'll have been like, oh, that's worth a lot of money, or she'll notice like that's worth a lot of money. So she knows with those things. But for the most part, it's kind of just like, I'm just get some money so I can do some stuff. And like she paid off her last debt so she has 2 bedrooms now, or 2 extra rooms, and she's like, I'm not upgrading past that for now, at least, because like that second room looks like garbage, so I'm just not even going to debt over it. And I was like, cool, sounds good.
Yeah, that's complete opposite of what I did. Not really. No, I kind of like, it was like a lateral sort of upgrade situation where it's like when I got one room looking kind of how I wanted it to look, and then I like ran out of space. So it started with, because you start with one room, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to make this like a consolidated version of everything that I want.
Yeah.
And then I was running out of space for that, so I was like, okay, I'll upgrade it, and then I like space it out, because then it's still just one room bigger. And then I was like, all right, now I'm going to make the room that they give you my room, and then transition the other room into like a
which I just realized today, probably most people have their bedroom be that back room, because that was the second one they set up and they just left it. And I was like, I need to switch that up and make that be not my bedroom for just because, you know, to be different, I guess.
I did it because I don't need my freaking room to be huge. It's just a bed. I'm going to put a TV in there and call it a day, you know? Like, well, there's also like a desk and a switch and like that type of crap. Yeah. But I don't need it to be big. Which I do want to talk about that, but let's talk about finish talking about how garbage Bunny Day is.
Oh yeah.
So Bunny Day, have you hit that point where it's like you're just fishing and you just want to get fit?
Oh yeah, I 100%. Like, I mean, I've figured out what fish sizes are gonna be, at least probably an
like
egg,
worth your time.
Yeah. So like if it's a 1, 2, 5, or 6, then of the fish size scale, which is at least on the Animal Crossing wiki fandom page or whatever, that's their rating as a 1 through 6 size. So if it's a 1, 2, 5, or 6, then I'll go for it, because it's going to be a fish. But if it's a 3 or 4, it's most likely an egg. And what sucks is there's like, I think some new fish maybe that are the 3 or 4 size, but like I'm not gonna be catching them for a little while, because I just don't even want to bother with the water eggs. Yes. I did figure out that like if you craft the eggs into stuff and sell them, they sell for a decent amount, like a full outfit or whatever, which is 7 eggs total, is worth like 2,800 bells. But at the same time, that's like one.
That's like the equivalent of like getting 7 foreign fruit. As a matter of fact, that's less than that.
Yep.
So I don't know.
It's not great.
Yeah, Bunny Day sucks, dude. It's the worst. And also, like, so have you messed around with like the camera with Zipper and saw that whole thing?
Yes.
Or just him in general with his Zipper, where it's like you do the reaction and then you run behind him and you talk to him and he gets mad.
Yep.
Because he's like a freaking poser. But like also that's some craftsmanship, because he blinks. So like how's he
It's like a Spider-Man suit, you know? Spider-Man has a suit and blinks, so
that's true. But even him, like when he blinks, it's like mechanical. But he just looks like a bunny.
Maybe in the bunny, maybe that's his real eyes and it's just a hole for the eyes.
Yeah, and that's like flush with his face. So like what type of animal is he?
Maybe he's a real bunny that's like
inside of another. Maybe he's just like a freaking. Maybe he's like just a plain like black and white bunny or something. And he's like, that's not very Eastern, you know. I bet
that's what it is. Yeah. No, it's
we solved it.
Already, like a couple of days ago, or well, earlier today or yesterday or whatever, Ashley's like, this is gonna be done soon, right? Because like I was like, it's like 10 more days, so it'll be a hot minute. I wonder 2 things now. A, are they going to change it during this time? I don't think so.
Are they going to like lower the spot?
Right. It's somebody pointed out too that like probably, or they said something like, and as it gets closer, the rates will get higher or whatever, so you can like get more things. I'm guessing that's like probably the last weekend will be like, you know, a lot more so you can finish it up. But so that's what I wonder, if A, they're going to change it, and B, what this looks like for other seasons, because the Easter egg hunt thing makes sense for this season.
What's the Earth Day event?
I do wonder, or like Christmas, is it going to be like in trees? Is it the same concept but different things?
That could potentially be dope, because like what if spawn rates for presents increase. That could be.
Oh, that would be super cool.
I would be down with that.
I mean, but probably they're going to be to craft holiday themed thing. My guess for Christmas stuff is it's
that would be upsetting. I would be mad about that. But if it was like, or even if it was both, like an increase.
That's true.
For presents, and then also like there's a chance that you can get like the or winter themed stuff because there's like multiple.
Right. Yeah. I bet around Christmas it's going to be like jingle bells falling out of trees and like antlers and red noses and that kind of stuff, and you'll use those to craft things, and it's going to be the same thing. So it is funny because like people used to be really excited for the events, right?
Yeah, but they didn't last this long.
Yeah,
they were a day, like that sort of thing.
Yeah,
but now it's like a whole lead up to the day.
Yep. That's burnout. That's a real thing.
This is like, I don't know if there's anybody that like genuinely wants the bunny day stuff. Like I know that there's going to be people that want it just because like, I got to have all the things, you know? But I don't know if there's anybody that's like, man, I'm making a bunny day room, like
I've seen a couple on Twitter, but
in the comments, let me know if you have a room allocated, and I don't mean like, because I've seen the idea floated of like, I'm gonna have a room that I'm gonna like transition out to be themed the seasons and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't mean like that. I mean like that you want to keep over like how I have my streaming room, which we'll get to. Do you have a room in your house that you're like, this is going to be my bunny day room for the whole time that this game exists? Sort of thing. Or do you know anybody like that?
Yeah.
Let me know.
I don't know. It's
a thing. It doesn't seem worth this much time to allocate to this thing.
I mean, my only guess too that I talked to Ashley was that like the reason the rates are so high is because if people don't play much during these 2 weeks and want to be able to get all this stuff that they still can, but like it also kind of seems like the incentive should be that you like it's a reward for playing more or something like that,
it should be the reason. Like, see, the thing is like how this is set up, I think it's going to achieve the opposite of what it should be, where like I made the comparison before this game came out that this is very Splatoon like with the Splatfest and stuff like that, where there's a huge uptick in when people are playing the game. But now it seems like people want to play the game less because they're tired of fishing and catching and up and
there's something to be said for feeling like you're missing out on something, like FOMO or whatever, where having it be one day and having it be kind of sparse makes you feel like this is important and I need to do it. Whereas if you feel like, all right, that's all there is, there's just eggs for 12 days, then there's no reason to go.
It was like a mixture of the two, right? Like if it was 12 days and the eggs were the hard thing to find, they weren't like the more prominent thing than the regular things that we find, then I feel like people would like it more.
Yeah. Or just one day and have be all over the place, also fine, know, but the mixture of both, you're right, is
too much. I wonder, because so when I was talking about this with Parker, I sent him this Chrissy Teigen tweet where she retweeted Stealth, who's like a popular gaming Twitter person.
Yep.
And I don't know, you want to pull up the tweet or?
Sure. You mean to share my screen and stuff? Yeah, let's do it. All right. Share screen.
Guess what? There it is. It did it, but I didn't have freaking gallery view on.
No worries. Now we do. So she said, I don't get it. He asked for 6 eggs and I have 1 million. Do I just sell them? All he does is talk. And people liked it.
And then with the Stealth said where he was fed up with it.
Where I mean, I'm really starting to hate Animal Crossing New Horizons Easter event. The rate of eggs when fishing is way too high. Yeah,
and that freaking, and I mean, Stealth, he gets a lot of engagement on his tweets just generally, but that Chrissy Teigen bump, man, 43,000 likes.
Seriously, I know.
Like that, it's wild.
Yeah, we should social blade that. See how he's doing.
Yeah, see if he gained a bunch of followers. Which I mean, usually with when your tweets go viral,
Uh-huh.
it's very different from when a YouTube video goes viral or whatever, right? Because like you can get a video that gets a couple 100,000 views and get thousands of subscribers from that. Whereas like a lot of times, like you can get a tweet that blows up and like Dan's had a couple of tweets that have gone viral, and got 4 followers. Like that's where it's
So
like
weird.
people really don't, because I mean
Yeah.
the value
Especially if
isn't
it's
as obvious, right? Because it's like
right.
there's no guarantee you're ever going to have a tweet that's this good again. So why am I
Right.
going to follow you?
I mean, because
Whereas,
like with a video, you're like, I enjoy this personality. Whereas with the
yeah.
tweet, it's like, I enjoyed that joke or that gag.
And also,
like
with a video, especially with videos like ours, they're like, oh, they do this every week,
Yeah.
Where there's no way to say that you're going to have a tweet that's like a freaking fire tweet every time you tweet,
Yeah.
So,
yeah, exactly.
Big old rip.
It is funny. So the funny thing too, that it kind of relates to with the Chrissy Teigen thing is, I mean, she's playing Animal Crossing and obviously would have been playing it regardless of this whole thing. But prior to all of this, you and I were talking about, right when we were about to start recording, about like celebrities or whatever, having to
pivot,
do the YouTube type thing and streaming or whatever. And like Ashley's been watching Jordan Fisher streaming some, who he's a singer and actor maybe as well, I think. And he's, just streaming things, but like he plays video games a lot. But I do wonder if with all of this, we'll see more people, like considering just the virus stuff, we'll see more celebrities actually do
like
more of this on their off time. Yeah.
I always want, because like I was talking to a few different people about this, where it's like if I was in that position where I had like a more traditional job, and by traditional I mean like traditional and entertainment, I would still very much so be like, nah, man, I know I'm a weatherman, but I need an at-home setup just in case the freaking studio blows up and I can still make money, why is that not a thing for freaking like TV, like late night hosts and stuff like that? Like get a freaking Canon C200 and Rode microphone or a Blue Yeti for all I care.
Yeah.
And a laptop. And there you go. You're good, dude. But right now they just got like laptop webcams and their laptop mic and like I don't know, like just their freaking lights in their house, like just regular like tungsten lights.
Yeah,
and
it is funny because like even other people closer to being in our space, like the NVC podcast or whatever with IGN, they had to they can't go to their office anymore, so they're having to record from home. And the first week or maybe 2 weeks of that was like definitely more rough than I don't watch on video, but I listen to the podcast. So I haven't actually watched it to know, but the audio sounds better now. So like maybe they've done some things to punch it up or brought some stuff home or something. But the first week even of that, which is like, you guys do online stuff, was like, oh, this is a little bit rough.
And then like the best example that I've seen of it so far of like somebody that's closer to our space but more on the end of like late night TV almost is like Rhett and Link with Good Mythical Morning. Like on like a set design level, their set looks freaking like still great. I mean, it's just a room in their house, but they're like, this looks good on camera, but on a technical level, it's still kind of weird that like they're essentially doing what we're doing, where it's like kind of a Zoom call. I think they're doing it through like Google Hangouts, and they have like a very like shoestring like budget setup where it's like they don't even have what they're filming on the screen that they're talking to, like this is a one like turnkey solution for us, right? We have the Zoom call and that's what we're talking at, we're listening to, and what's being recorded. But what they were doing is they had they were filming on their cameras, they were talking to each other off screen on an iPad so that they can hear and see each other in the call. And those were two separate things. And I'm like, but like, why? And I mean, like if it would make sense if they were using like their like high level cameras and stuff like that. To have that set up, because then it would be a lot harder to have that like feeding into the computer without like sync issues and all that.
Right, man.
But it's just interesting to see people like adapt to like be like, oh shoot, man, we can't use these like
Yeah.
multi-million-dollar studios anymore.
I mean, that said, like we'll have to see what it looks like now versus what it'll look like in 2 months or 3 months or whatever. Because like from the sounds of it, this is probably going to be the case for a good while. Like, so I'm in Tennessee, as some people know. And we just officially are on like lockdown as of, I don't know, 2 days ago or today or something like that.
It was at the beginning of the week for
Pennsylvania. Yeah. So it's, like, and it's funny because I was going to be going to hang out with Mitch because like he hasn't seen anybody, I haven't seen anybody, and I was like, we don't have it, so like might as well hang out. We were going to hang out last night, and then yesterday we found out that they like mandated, like, nope, you got to stay at home. And he was like, I know everything is exactly the same now, but like,
did they? Like that's crazy. Yeah, that's wild. Because like I don't, as far as I know, our lockdown's not that strict. It's the same thing. It's just them directly saying you have to do like limiting gatherings to 10 people and like that whole thing.
I think ours is like even more than that.
Walk out of your door, you know.
I think they said you so you can only go out for essential activities, quote unquote, is the terminology. So yeah, I don't know if it's more or less than specific other places, because for a while they were doing just like suggested like, hey, please, like, don't. And then like a ton of doctors and stuff were like
$1,000 fine.
Yeah. If we find so I don't know. Actually, I tried to look up the specific rules if there are any, and I haven't found what that is yet. So we'll see what happens. But in any case, we didn't hang out because we were like, well, now we're not technically supposed to. But one thing also, speaking of Mitch, so I showed him Tarantula Island on Animal Crossing, and he's been doing that. Tarantula Island has been ruined by the April bugs because, not really, but there at least one island that I tried it on 2 nights ago. There's now a giant water bug that spawns under the same conditions that the tarantulas, the giant water bugs, the tiger beetles, and the wharf roaches do. So if you're trying to make a tarantula island, it could be because maybe if you can find one without rivers or something like that. I don't know, whatever. In any case, those were spawning instead, and you can't make them run away. It was a bunch of baloney, and I didn't like it. But they still sell for $2,000 each, so I was like, whatever, I'm just going to catch a bunch of these guys.
Yes, so, I haven't done any of that.
I only did it because I went to an island. So like, I'm going to go to an island. And everything was Tarantula Island, here we come. So I know I just froze a little bit, but
it's cool.
Nevertheless,
I got the gist of it.
You got the gist of it. So I got the funk.
Sure.
I don't know what's going on. In any case, the next thing, do you have any more thoughts on any of that stuff?
I think that we should probably we should have did it before we did the whole like talk about the celebrities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To do the Animal Crossing thing. But I think we should just do my video and then
yes.
the rest of
I was thinking about that too. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Because it makes sense.
Well, yeah, we could just do my video before we talk about that specifically. Because I was gonna say like where you at, like house-wise and all that stuff. But we can rope that in with the comments and stuff.
Yep. Indeed. So let's go ahead and start comments, and we'll go from there. So you did a video on your 2-week update in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that was supposed to be 1 week, and then the direct happened, and then it was 2 weeks.
Yep. So here's some comments. Patar35 says, stringfish are flippin' stupid. I've spent over 150 bait trying to catch them and nothing. Guess I'll have to wait 8 months and try again. Mad face, mad face.
Yeah, man. I was seeing a lot of people, and it was funny because it's like it seems like a lot of people still haven't like clued in on like how Animal Crossing's time works, because they're like racing the clock for midnight, and they're like, "Oh, it's midnight. I'm done." I'm like, "No, you still have hours, dude. It's not until 6 a.m." But I just was like, because the same thing happened to me, where it's like, I don't know, it was probably like 10 for me, and I freaking I ran out of bait, and I was like, I'm not making more bait. I refuse. I'm done. And I didn't even make that much bait, to be fair. I made like 30 pieces. Like people were using like going through like hundreds of bait.
Oh, for sure.
And I was doing that. I was like, no, I refuse. The first time I ran out of my freaking stock of 35 bait, I was like, it's not worth, dude. I don't care about this freaking fish anymore. and
Yeah.
I just played Smash Brothers. Or maybe
I
ARMS. I played
I
some.
do worry that it set a precedent for me because now I think I did collect everything in March that was March exclusive.
So now you got to do it.
So
for
now it's
every
like,
month.
yeah, do it. Yeah. And I'm already starting to wonder, I mean, in general with Animal Crossing, like it's taking up so much time and like it's just so easy to play so much of it. And I'm wondering if I should like try to make myself slow down just to like, this is a great opportunity to catch up on other backlog
Yeah.
games, you know?
Mhm.
So that's in the back of my mind of wondering if I want to do that, let this be more of a passive thing and let Ashley kind of mainline it and whatever. But as far as the string
I'm
fish thing,
mostly at the point where that's where I'm at. Like I'll play it. I still play it for like I don't know, like 2 hours a day.
mm-hmm.
And I do like the dailies, like the double, like the Nook Miles Plus stuff. I'll do those. And then I'll check the store for anything that I want, and then like stuff that I already have that I need like multiples of. Like I'm freaking working on my kitchen, and I needed more stools, so I ordered 3 more stools, and then I ordered 2 TVs, and that was my allotment for ordering stuff from Nook. So like I'll do stuff like that where it's like, okay, I'll do the most that I can do, but not do like super like just finding things to do sort of thing. Like, oh, I'm gonna get more money so I can, I don't really do.
It is hard because the more you go in it, the more dailies get added on. Because like for me now, theoretically, if I were to do things that like the maximum dailies thing would be collect all the fruit, hit a couple of the trees for like bamboo or whatever, and that hit all the rocks, get all the fossils, which now is even more because stupid earth eggs. Yeah, water flowers probably. I don't know, like all this stuff that's like, oh my goodness, this actually takes so long to do all of that. But yeah, so I think I just have to decide which of those things are actually important or not.
I just do the things that the game tells me to do at this point. But also like I like as far as my fruit go and stuff like that, I'm trying to make my tree sync up because like there's trees that have fruit that I like got because they were only fruit trees on my island, and then I grew more, and then they're not in sync with everything else.
Oh, mine are definitely not in sync.
So I'm to the point where I'm gonna force myself to have them in sync. Yesterday, I thought that, and I was like, I'm gonna make sure that they're in sync, but I was like doing other crap, and I accidentally shook one tree, so I was like, well, I gotta freaking shake all of them now. Like, so that was that. And now I'm waiting for them to sync back up again or get closer to syncing up and try again at that. But
you could always, if you shake a tree, I guess you could always uproot it and then wait and replant it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. But then it wouldn't have. Well, wait until So wait until
whatever the right amount of days are and plant it back again.
So like wait until everything else is in sync and then shake those trees and then replant it, because when I replant it, it's not going to have fruit on it.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
I guess I would imagine that's how it works. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I ended up getting a string. It probably took me like 60 bait or something like that to do it, which. Yeah, it was whatever. I got a golden trout as
like
well.
Conflicting information on like exactly where that needs to be caught, because like at first Pete was like it has to be on your second level, and I was like, all right. And then other people were like, no, it has to be from the third level, and it has to be, well, that was the first thing. It has to be from the third level, and then more information was like it's from the third level, but if you catch it close enough to your third, so like if you have a waterfall that's leading from your top level to your second level, and you catch it in that vicinity in that river, then it spawns there too.
So for what it's worth, I caught one in the pond at the top, and then I caught one in the middle of the river, like not even close to the waterfall of it, just in the middle of the river, but on the second level. They talked about it, and the thing spawn rates for different sections depending on your layout. So I don't know what mine specifically was or whatever, but so I think the reason people have different hard and fast rules is because it actually probably does change from person to person and from island to island. So that makes it tricky.
No, I've been messing around with terraforming a little bit now. Like I'm freaking paving roads now.
Nice. So you technically rolled credits,
yeah,
right? Okay. Because that you need to have done that before you can learn terraforming.
Yes. Yep.
Which means like 10 villagers.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I guess so.
I don't know.
I guess I wasn't really keeping track. I just went into the thing. I got my freaking my village or island eval from Isabel, and she was like, "We're 3 stars." And then Nook was like, "What?" And then he was like, "I'm calling up KK," and then he came through the next day.
Look at that. Yeah, I don't know. I've got a little ways to go in that case. But yeah, here, I'll read the next comment. We'll keep going. The Samric 16 says, "I've only played this by myself, and I think it will stay like that."
I played this game. So I realized after it was like a little bit after you talked about it, like opening your island and stuff like that. And I was like, oh shoot, I really haven't opened my island that much. Like the only time I open my island is like very specific things, like supporters. I do the supporters games and Mega Man and Grimhain, and then we're like, yo, when you go up here, I was like, oh shoot, yeah, I'll do that. And I open it up for supporters. And then like I open it up for Bob and Dan and like the guy with the hair guys, and you know, when people are streaming. But other than that, I don't just like open my island up.
I did it once and then just keep forgetting or having like I pick up my Switch a lot for like 30 minutes and then put it down for an hour and then pick it back up, and then so like that, you know, happens. But when I opened it up the one time, Grimhain stopped by, so that was fun. But
yeah. It was funny.
So did you do that more?
Because Bob was streaming yesterday. And I was giving him crap because like I told him I want to give him stuff anyway. And I don't know if you know the whole backstory about how Bob hates sweatpants, but Bob hates sweatpants. Cool. So I found sweatpants in the tailor
right now
in the tailor's shop. And I was like, oh, I'm going to send this to Bob. And I sent it to Bob because like now I only send Bob the heart mail, like the Powerpuff Girls, like hearts. And I was like, your fave. And he thought that I was sending him the freaking, like, he calls it the e-girl computer, the desktop, the pink desktop computer. He thought I was sending him that, and it was sweatpants. So then he got baited in that regard. And then I was like, all right, fine, I'll freaking buy you the computer, even though this is like, that computer is 100,000 bells or something like that. So I was like, this is a lot of money, dude. And then I sent him that, and I sent him the heart mail again. And I was like, you better love me. This is 100,000 bells that I could be giving the Nook for his loan money. So I sent him that. And he was like, oh, it should have been sweatpants. But then I went in his island. And then like immediately, he went in my island. And immediately after he entered my island, Grimhain entered my island. It was funny because it's like you don't immediately see who's coming in. You just get the thing of like, all right, everybody stop doing what you're doing. Somebody's coming, pay attention.
Yeah.
And Bob was like, I bet you this is Eric. And I was like, no, I guarantee it's Grimhain. It's Grimhain. And it was Grimhain. That was
there you go. Good job, Grimhain. You did it.
Good job.
Yep. We had a grand old time. Yeah. As far as not playing with people, I mean, it's a very fine game.
Island. You still haven't seen my
It's
island.
true. We're not even best friends. You can't send me nothing.
How dare you?
No e-girl computers for me.
This is all your fault.
Yeah, I'll just open it up sometime if I remember to and things. And I'll try. Biscuit says, got it day one, opening time at my local store. Worth it. Amazing video. You are underrated. Hee my profile picture is Biscuit. Gotta love Biscuit.
Thanks. Also, biased opinion because your name's Biscuit. So, like, of course you like Biscuit, dude. But no, yeah, man, it's a great game. It's a great game.
Which similarly, B Lexi 57 says, I love this game so much. I have 90 hours on it, though I accidentally kept the game running overnight one night. My favorite villager is Fauna. She was on second island tour I went on. And my least favorite is Lucha. Either one. He was in the camp the day it was built, and I was forced to take him in. The feeling's mutual, though. We glare at each other from across the island. Yeah, I recruited Eugene from my campground, and again, didn't have any other options. He had to, and he's very full of himself. He's a koala, so like that's kind of fun. But he's like, I feel like everyone really wants me to move here. Like, oh my goodness, God. Is everyone asking me to move here? And I'm like, dude, please shut up.
I'm to the point where it's like I've already freaking kicked out like 2 villagers.
I I feel like I like having. I'm gonna definitely keep them because having kind of annoying people is like
I
it's
didn't even
probably just
kick
regular
out
life,
people.
you know.
Yeah, I didn't even kick out people I thought were annoying. They just were like, "Man, I'm tired of this place," and I was like, "All right, well, f you too, dude." So then people freaking filed in after. Well, actually, one person I kicked out because they were like, I think I want to like freaking, expand my horizons and see the world. And I was like, oh, that works out because I want to invite this freaking secret agent squirrel, dude. Like, she's way cooler.
Your secret agent Squirrel and Eugene should meet because he wears sunglasses and he seems like he could be a secret agent too. Maybe they work together.
No, because the secret agent squirrel has like a freaking racer hat. Like it's like freaking speed racer looking character. Look up Agent S. That's the one.
Agent S.
Yeah, Agent S Animal Crossing.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, not the kind of secret agent I was thinking.
Yeah, no. But she's cool. The closest thing I have to Eugene is I have this Wolfman, and his name is Kyle, and he's like a music dude, and he's like, I'm super famous, I'm really cool, dude. Like, but he's kind of like what you were talking about before. It's like, and we're cool together, like that whole thing. Like okay, you're cool and I'm cool, and we're both cool. Everything's
Aren't you so glad that we're both cool? Like, what if one of us maybe happened to not be cool? Like, that wouldn't be okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't be great if somebody wasn't as cool as we are, but luckily we're cool, So like,
man,
But also, Carl doesn't have a bed. I mean, Kyle doesn't have a bed.
Oh,
he sleeps on cardboard.
Oh.
He has a cardboard table. So I want to give him a bed eventually.
That would be
I'm trying to get him to give me his stuff. Because at first I wanted him... Not like literally his stuff, but I mean like a version of his thing. Because that they do that, They're like, I want you to have a style like mine. So here's my thing,
I need to give more people more things. I don't know what things are good to give everybody, so I haven't done a whole lot of it. But I'll give some things, like I gave somebody a butterfly. I'm like, here's a butterfly, and somebody else was like, hey, you got some of those yellow perches? I love yellow perches, and I was like, yeah. I guess whatever.
Sure. But like the ones that are easy is like for like my female villagers, like sometimes you'll find like freaking dresses and stuff. And it's like, I'm not going to use this and I'll just give it to them. Those are easy. A lot of times I'll also get like doubles of certain uniforms or even like furniture. Like I got like 2 microwaves. So I gave one to Kyle. Next, I'm going to build him a bed because he sleeps on cardboard, as I said. So that's gonna be the next thing I do. But he has like a piano, he has electric guitar. He has drums. He has everything.
Seriously, I mean, I said this on Twitter, but hit me up if you got drums, y'all. Because
I don't have drums right now.
I've got an electric that I'm about to give one to Crunch Topher. I would trade you something for an acoustic guitar.
Okay, cool. I got you, man.
I've got Bob gave me a pedal board. I've got 2 amps.
I have a marimba. You want a marimba?
I do have a marimba as well, which also Max, if you're listening, I've got a bingo thing for you. I'll message you separately because maybe you're not listening. I don't know.
I didn't know he wanted a bingo.
Because last week he was saying he wanted to make a casino room.
Oh yeah.
So I've got the little bingo.
Yeah.
That thingy. Another comment. Here we go. From 7. Hello, 7. Said, hey, AJ, great video. I don't really have much to add except that I really like this game's pacing. I thought by now the novelty might have worn off, but then I unlocked the Able Sisters and the new resident service building, and the game just opened up so much. Even just unlocking fences made me invest so much more time than I otherwise would have. I want every villager to have their own style, so I spent way too much time choosing the right fence and flowers for them. I also think it helps that repeating tasks aren't just there for grinding, but help you actually achieve something. I get such a sense of accomplishment when I see a new building or sweet piece of furniture or a completed fossil after spending hours digging and hunting for material. On to make yourself, even if it's something simple and cheap. I'm really excited to look back at these. Oh, I'm freezing, aren't I? All right, where'd you last hear me?
I heard everything.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm really excited to look back at these early days and see how far I've come by this time next month, not to mention next year. I made a little diagram of how I want my island to look in the end, and I and it's going to be so awesome when I finally make that a reality. Hope you have a great Bunny Day week. Smiley face.
I'm having a terrible Bunny Day week, but I hope you're having a great Bunny Day week. Bunny Day is a mistake, and we should freaking blame Nook. It's his fault. He did it. Bunny Day sucks. I think you froze again, though. Yeah, there we go.
You're so right. I agree with everything you said.
I was talking about how you froze.
Yeah, and I did. I agree with that. We'll need to figure that out. But yes, 7, I agree with all the things. I like building furniture, like IKEA furniture, because it's just fun.
Yeah, and it's funny because it very much so is the thing that I was talking about.
Yep.
In that initial video with the freaking orange end table, dude. Like that happens. It's like, yo, the thing that would be perfect here is this very specific.
It's funny though, when you said orange end table in that video with Bob and stuff, and just that you were saying it, that whole time I was just thinking an end table that was orange colored, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of standard. And then in the game,
literally
it's
an end table that is an orange.
Yeah, in the game, that was one of the things I had to provide: an orange end table and an orange wall clock. I had to provide those for one of my first houses or whatever, because oranges, I guess, were my fruit. And I was like, I don't even have the recipe for an orange end table, and like couldn't find it anywhere. But I was looking in the furniture section, not in the like bottom section, and I was like, oh, it's this piece of crap that like looks like an actual orange.
Yes. Yep.
Sure enough, there it is.
But that's exactly what I was talking about, and that happens to me now, where it's like I'm working on very specific rooms. Where like, speaking of, how many rooms do you have all your rooms yet, or like where are you at?
No, at this point I'm not really focused on getting more rooms, because the ones I have, I've got my main one and then 3 other rooms. So I've got bedroom in the back, music room off to the side, and whatever I'll decide to do with another room to the side. I think you only get an upstairs and a downstairs room from there.
Yes.
Okay.
And the upstairs and downstairs rooms are huge.
Cool.
They're like 2 rooms put together almost.
Yeah. So I probably will get an upstairs. I'll go ahead and get all of them eventually, because probably the upstairs room will turn into the music room at some point.
So I made my room, and then there's the living room, and then there's a guest room that's empty and just has a bed because I don't have furniture yet.
Yep.
And then I have a kitchen, which is the downstairs room, and it's way too big for a kitchen, but I got this freaking huge like island. And
nice.
Like if I put it in the regular room, it would take up most of the room, and then I don't have room for anything. So I just gotta have a big kitchen, I guess. And then I have the freaking streamer room that's sick. Like it's
very nice.
Dope room, dude. And then I have a bathroom, which is also kind of empty because I don't have everything that I want in there either.
Yep. But what kinds of things do you want in there that you don't have?
In the bathroom?
Yeah.
Just, bathroom stuff. No,
I've got a sink and medicine cabinet.
I just have a freaking crappy sink like in my bathroom. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yup.
You got some of those? No way. Whenever it starts freezing, I just don't say anything. I just wait. So you're not missing any content for anyone.
I was just sitting there waiting for you to unfreeze. But yeah, it was freaking. I need to figure that out. Figure out what else I want to do in my bathroom. I might put like a freaking because I have a shower, so I'm gonna put like a tub in there too. Just in case people don't always want to take a shower, man. Maybe I want to relax, dude.
Yep. Moving along with things. Oh, I guess that's it for your video. So
yes.
I don't know. Any final Animal Crossing thoughts?
Nope. I'm done.
That's it. We did it. Yeah. All that stuff is good. Hey, let's get into this news topic that is here.
Yep.
It's not a very long one, but just the Switches are hard to find and people are charging a lot of money for them. What a time.
The only thing I saw on this was GameStop
bought.
doing the GameStop thing. Yeah, also that.
Yeah.
But there's like they have Switch Lights in stock, and they're like Switch Light bundles. And I mean, to be fair, these ones aren't as egregious as they usually are.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them kind of make sense. Like, I don't know if even if I didn't have a Switch, I wouldn't necessarily want these bundles because
Like what kinds of bundles?
it's like a Switch Lite, and then it comes with Animal Crossing. That part, thumbs up. And then it's like a freaking screen protector or something. I wouldn't buy that. So why would I want to buy it bundled?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
and
I
it
think
costs the
comes with
same
like
price, I guess, as each of those individual things together.
Yes. And then I think it comes with like a $20 eShop card too. Or
Gotcha.
something like that. And then they have like regular Switches, and that bundle's like $280 or something, which is fine. Like that's a decent price. And then there's like a regular Switch for like $500, and it comes with a Pro controller and Animal Crossing, which is a weird choice. If you're going to put a freaking Pro controller in there.
Yeah. Sure.
And then also a screen protector and a $20 eShop card or whatever. Those they're doing that, but I also saw what Bob put up. It was like $500 for
yeah.
Coral Switch.
Yep. And I mean, I saw this one too of there was some eShop or eBay account that's selling them for selling Switches for $500. Like Spawnwave put up that there were 34 sold in the last 24 hours at $500 each, which is just like, it's insane. So, yep. Hopefully, I mean, it sounds like for what it's worth, China is back up and running more so than before. So probably stock will sort of start coming back eventually. I don't know,
but I don't even know because we're not. So like they could be manufacturing them, but who's delivering them?
I don't even know. Yeah, it'll be a crazy time. But yeah, there's that. It wasn't a very long news article. Just like, wow, if you find good places to buy them, let people know, I guess, because people are having trouble finding them. That said, actually, I should ask. Ashley's friend just bought a Switch to be able to play Animal Crossing like a couple days ago. So I wonder,
was it the same friend that she was like, "Yo, you should like get a Switch," and then you were like, "I don't know if she should do that. It's a big investment."
for her sister.
Oh yeah.
But same thing, yeah.
So,
okay. So now here's this. This is the last news article we've got for today. Well, the other big news piece was the one that I made my video on, so we'll just talk about that when we talk about the video.
Yeah.
But it's Xbox. Phil Spencer went on IGN's Xbox podcast, and he had some things to say that were interesting and good regarding, especially like specifically how everybody's always like, oh, when's that Xbox game coming to Switch now?
Yeah.
And so he said the following. Phil Spencer said, the relationship with Nintendo is great. Doug Bowser and I, we talk often. Furukawa-san, the CEO of Nintendo, and I know each other well, and we have conversations. I will say the individual IP by IP to different platforms, I can see it get kind of confusing to customers over time. We've been learning some of these things, or some of these have been some of our development partners that have wanted to go do this, and we want to support the desires of our creative talent. So some of this has been partner led. But I think more and more about what a full Xbox experience means on different platforms. Right now, it seems like when any game comes out, is this going here? Is it going there? And I'd rather be able to set more of an Xbox level expectation for our fans on where things are going to go. I thought we did that with our first party when we talked about games shipping on Xbox and PC, and I got certain blowback from certain people in certain groups on that, but at least we set an expectation on that, and I'd rather see us get to that point on the different pieces of hardware that we're on. So I guess I'll kind of leave it there. I definitely have a ton of respect for the role Nintendo plays, and I love having great games on their platform, but I don't really love this idea that every one of our games, there becomes for every one of our games, there becomes this little rumor, is it going to end up on Switch or not? And I feel like we should set a better expectation with our fans than that.
Okay, so this is another one of those situations where it seems like all the people making articles and videos on it are very much so sensationalizing what he's saying.
Yeah,
because
I guess I'm not even seeing what are people saying about it. I haven't.
A lot of people are like saying that like he's like, I'm sick of people asking for games on Switch.
Mm.
But this very much so sounds like he's saying he is unhappy with how they're communicating what games will and won't come. So it's less of a thing of like, I don't want people to want that. It's more of like, we shouldn't even have people speculating about this because it should be clear which games are and aren't.
Yeah. And also, like, some of it might even be like just that they want people to assume that they're not necessarily going to come.
Yeah.
And so that if they do, then it's an exciting thing rather than, you know, like that placating expectations or something, which I think, you know, is kind of the case with the ones, especially that are rumored. Like at this point, because it's been talked about by some people, if Master Chief Collection came on Switch, tons of people, or any of the Halo games or anything like that, people would be like, oh, that's awesome, and be really excited. But also a number of people would be like, yeah, that's right, that finally happened, I knew about that.
I think that most people would react like that. Like the people that get down in the dumps about every Nintendo Direct ever, they're like, when Overwatch got announced or whatever, any other time that would be major, like it'd be the biggest thing in the world, but everybody expected it. But at the same time, it's weird, everybody, like all these like freaking pundits, like they occupy this very strange space where both everything and nothing is possible. Whereas like the same people that's like, Overwatch, yeah, right, we like, that'll never happen, it's impossible, it'll never run on Switch, blah blah blah. Those are the same people that when it got announced, they're like, well, duh, of course it get in the Switch.
Yeah, or like, that's not a big deal, you know, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
or like
exactly.
even like The Witcher 3 or something like that, same thing. There's, man, I do wish in general, this is a broader conversation than just this, but that fewer things would get leaked or rumored or whatever. Like, I mean, my video on the Mario thing, it's, now that it's out there, it's interesting to talk about. But if it hadn't been out there at all, that would have been better, in my opinion, because it's just like, that's just fun to find out about things the first time, you know. And Overwatch, if it hadn't been rumored or leaked or whatever at all before it got announced, people at least would have been like, finally, okay, that's fun. Yeah, awesome. Instead of like, finally, yes, that was what we knew about, thanks for at least saying it, you know. Like it's
funny because like when we do, like, your video was different in the sense that like it was talking about something that we already had established, where it's like, okay, this might be happening. Whereas a lot of other times, like the Mario video that I made earlier this year, it's just like, we haven't heard anything about Mario game. We're going to get a Mario game because duh.
Yeah.
So what if this happened? And a lot of stuff that's rumored to happen, I was like, what if this happened? You know, those are,
didn't expect every single one of those in the same year, but here we go.
Yeah, or maybe I did, you know, that's why it's 2020, dude, psychic. But anyway, that's why, like, I like that those videos actually have an opposite effect of what some of the people that like don't like the idea of like speculating in videos, because it's like, oh, you'll just get mad if it doesn't happen or whatever. But it's actually the opposite, because it's like, when or if it does happen, it's so much more hype. Because I was like, yo, like everybody in the comments like, that's impossible, that'll never happen. And then 9 times out of 10 it happens, and it's pretty close to what I'm like, but what if this? Especially since when we do those videos, we don't like, we're semi-ambitious, but we're at the same time measured, where we're like, this could happen theoretically. And if it did, it would be neat.
Yep. So I mean,
it would be awesome if that happened on that level, but it is lessened as far as like the impact of it. Like when people inevitably are like, oh, E3 2020 sucked because all they talked about is every Mario game we ever wanted on the Switch coming out, you know?
Right.
Like,
yeah. I mean, and before because we're about to even get into that. So, but finishing up on the Xbox thing, I think from this, the gist that I get is really what we kind of already said. We're like, I think they still want some things to come to Switch and a lot of other things not to come to Switch, which makes sense. I think they'll continue looking at Switch as a platform to evaluate on a case-by-case basis. And probably, I think their biggest partnership still thinking is going to be xCloud if that happens. And it's more like, and not to put their games on it through xCloud necessarily, but just to have Switch be a client of or Nintendo be a client of theirs by using xCloud and their cloud services and stuff, where they'll make money off of that.
Right.
So, but yeah, but I could see it's, you know, it's just always annoying as a creator or as somebody who wants to promote something when people are like, hey, when are you going to do that thing? And it's like, dude, I was just about to do that thing that you're asking me for.
Yep.
So, that kind of a thing. But yeah, the Mario stuff, we started talking about that. And that was another big news kind of thing this week. So let's keep going.
Let's do it.
Here, let's read some comments real quick, and then we'll kind of talk about it more broadly as well. Cool says, I haven't owned anything Nintendo except the red Game Boy that was like a square 3DS, played some GameCube, so I haven't played any of these Mario games. I'd love it if they came over to the Switch. And I'm guessing the red GameCube is the Game Boy Advance SP, probably, because the square DS.
Yep.
What Sounds we're like going for. But yeah, so that in any case, I assume, and I don't know, cool, if you're listening, let us know. It sounds like you have a Switch and you hadn't played Nintendo stuff prior to this, but now you have a Switch, so you'd love them to come over so that you can play them. Is the gist that I'm guessing.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume so, because like if it was like a thing of like I would buy a Switch for that, it seems kind of like out of place. Yeah. Because if a lot of Mario games that you haven't played were like a selling point, then you would have bought a freaking Wii U, like,
I will be also interested. I mean, like if these games come or whatever, and if cool, you've played Mario Odyssey, for example, if you then go back and play these ones, depending on how they turn out, and we can talk more about the details of what we think that'll look like, but what your thoughts would be on that as somebody that hadn't played Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine or whatever. But this is a demographic that, like, I was thinking very strongly that about, like, getting people back in off nostalgia for one thing, where like, like I said in the video, like
where you just assume, or whatever, like, everybody freaking play Mario. It's time to play Mario again.
Yeah, exactly. Or like kids, that weren't old enough at the time and like never went back or something. So like the core demographic probably for this would end up, in my mind, being like 30-year-olds and their 5-year-old kids or something like that, or something. And
I mean, depending on like how involved these remakes are, I think they could just be the same demographic as any other Mario game.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, but it's interesting now to think that, like, okay, yeah, there's actually people who just are new to, and I'm guessing from this that he's specifying he hasn't owned anything Nintendo, which means probably PlayStation or Xbox, like probably still some gaming stuff. So that there's like gamers that hadn't played other Nintendo things and all that. So
yeah. And I mean, just by numbers, if we're talking like, because Mario specifically with like console level Mario games, most people haven't owned most Nintendo platforms because home consoles are that sphere up until now, and still technically is run by PlayStation. Like PlayStation has dominated this scene since the PlayStation 1 came out.
Yeah, right.
With the exception of PlayStation 3. And even then, like, some people would argue that PlayStation 3 still dominated that generation. So it makes sense that a lot of, like, the majority of people haven't experienced like a lot of these Mario games because they don't put major Mario games on handheld.
Right. Yeah. The one other thing too I was thinking with this is like most people this would be exciting. The only people that I can think that this would be like frustrating or whatever for would be the core Nintendo fans that stuck through that bought
just Max would be the only person that like hates this.
I think he likes 3D Mario, just not 2D Mario.
Max is
forget.
You ever think about how Max is just stupid?
Sometimes I just think about Max. Does that count?
No,
but so
I mean, I guess that counts, because if you're thinking about Max, that's what you're thinking about, Sorry, no, I'm joking. I am joking, to be clear. I don't want to.
You actually anybody. And there it is. Yep. So, but yeah, the demographic that this would be probably most disappointing to is the like chorused Nintendo fans, I guess, that like stuck through and like bought tons of virtual console stuff on the Wii and on the Wii U. And it's like, well, I've played Mario 64 so many times. Blah, blah. And the thing that like maybe kind of sucks,
the people that like are mad about like Kanto, like that, that type of person. Where it's like, we're going back to Kanto again.
So, yeah, but like honestly, also, though, those people are probably ones that are just like, but I really like Mario 64. So if it gets remade better, then, So what
Yeah,
do
because
you
like
imagine on that front, by the way? Like, just as far as the remakes go
them
or
remaking Mario
remasters or
64,
whatever.
I want them
So for
to
all the games,
as long as they make them not bad anymore, then great, you know? Because I feel like a lot of people, like how most people think of those games, it's like they're kind of detached from like how they actually play. So it's like, oh, I remember this game when it was like the peak of gaming, or peak because it's like 3D and then
right? Yeah.
not established or whatever, but it was the new cool thing. So it was like, this is cool, and it's like the top of technology, but still like compared to 2D games, it wasn't nearly as polished and blah blah blah.
Right.
I would like to see them try to remedy that. And I would be interested to see what they do to do that. Cause like they could go the route where you were talking about and just like keep the physics relatively the same and stuff like that. Or they could just freaking ratchet and clank it and remake that game, but keep the core of it, where it's like, okay, these are the story beats, and or in Mario's case, these are like the level beats and like the stuff that like the type of missions that you got to do. But it controls differently, and the level design is different to accommodate for that.
Mm-hmm.
But still
Yeah,
like recognizable.
Right. I think that's the thing I'm most curious about, because somebody brought up like, oh, like they remade Doom 64 and Turok and stuff, and those are remakes of N64 games, and hadn't even really considered just a straight like, here's a port with the exact same textures, but it's crisper, like
Yeah.
it looks good, and probably that they've like fixed the little things. I think no matter what, like you said, the way in a lot of regards.
It really just
Where
depends on what the packaging ends up being. If they end up doing the thing of like Super Mario, like I mean Mario Superstar freaking 2 or whatever, right? If they do that, then I think it'll be more along those lines where they're like
they have
HD,
more leeway at that
not
point.
really remakes. But if they could go the $60 route and say these games are $60 and they're full on like Ratchet and Clank style, like from the ground up remakes of these games.
Yep. Which actually, that brings us here. I'll go ahead and read the next comment because it has to do with that. Wyatt Merrill said, I think that since Link's Awakening sold for $60, they would sell Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and the Galaxy games for $60 each.
Yeah, I agree with that, but it depends on how they go about doing it.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think so too. We're like, the only reason I think they wouldn't do that is if they're releasing them all, like whatever the cadence of it is, if they're releasing all of those games within this holiday season or within this year, I don't know that they'd, I think there would be burnout from $60 releases of each of them, even if they individually value them that much. Like, I think just the pacing of having those all come out.
I think it depends on how they do it, because they've done things like freaking, your Luigi, where we got multiple like themed releases or whatever. So I could see that, and especially if they like space it out right, where they're like, this month you'll get freaking Mario 64 HD or whatever, and then 2 months from then you'll get Mario Golf. It has Mario in it, but it's not really Mario. You know? So I could see them like space it out like that. And I mean, just to be clear, I think that regardless of how they do this, people are going to be mad that it's so much Mario. Like, it doesn't matter if every single Mario game, if they sell every single Mario game and they do the best possible thing, they fully remake Galaxy 1 and 2 and Sunshine and 64, and they make a new Paper Mario in the old Paper Mario style, and they do Mario Golf, and they package that in one $60 game that they give you a year of Switch Online for free for, people will still be mad because it's too much Mario.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and the other question is like, does all this stuff, if they're planning it for this year, does it get pushed out because of everything that's going on? Hopefully people talk about how Nintendo has stuff that they're just sitting on all the time. So maybe they use this as an opportunity to just switch some of those around.
So just drop Pikmin 3.
Yeah, exactly. And be like, here's Pikmin 3, here's Metroid Prime Trilogy, because we weren't planning on doing it now, but like we don't have anything else for now because everything else is going to be pushed out a little bit because development is what it is right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see them releasing each of them for $60, but I could see either.
Yeah, no, I don't. What I could see them doing, I don't know if they're going to bundle a lot of them, but what I could imagine them doing is maybe bundling like Galaxy 1 and 2 and Sunshine and 64.
Yeah,
I think those were like all made in similar veins to each other, like each respective game that I would theoretically see them like.
I think that would definitely. It would either be they barely do anything, quote unquote, where they would still do something like make them look like HD. Here's the like best looking version of pretty much exactly that game, and then they could maybe
like a less involved Wind Waker HD.
Yeah,
Wind
right,
Waker
exactly.
HD was just like throw a bloom effect on it, raise the resolution, and then also like fix some of the stuff. But I don't think they're going to do that where they're like, all right, faster sales.
Right? Yeah, I think if they did more that kind of a thing, then they would bundle 2 and 2. But if they do less than that, then they would do maybe all 4. Maybe some of the rumors seem to say just Galaxy and not Galaxy 2, and that doesn't make any sense to me. But that doesn't mean they won't do it.
Like I can like something that would make sense to me is if they just did 2 and then worked in some stuff from 1, because 2 is just basically 1 but different levels and better,
and it has so much throw.
Yeah, so it's just like I could definitely see them just be like, all right, here's 2 again. Like they don't necessarily need to.
Yeah. And then the last comment for this video is from Blue Monday, who says, I'm so over remasters. I prefer original games and new concepts. I don't like how the gaming industry continuously recycles the same content.
I think that's entertainment in general, honestly. Entertainment in general does that. And it's because a remaster to one person, a lot, like if remaster wasn't in the title, and they were just like freaking Mario 64, here it is. And they gave no context and they just showed an HD Mario 64 and didn't say anything about it. Most people that see it are going to be like, oh, this is dope, blah, blah. And then there's going to be people that are so familiar with that game and love that game and grew up with that game like we did. And we're going to know, but the kids are going to be like, yo, new Mario. But the fact that remaster in the title, they're like, freaking, it's old, you know?
I mean, there's so many games that are ports that I didn't play the original of, so like, you know, it's a new game to me as long as it still feels, you know, crisp and fresh or whatever. I think the only thing for me is with this, if they're taking significant resources away from new content to do remaster port type stuff instead, then that kind of sucks.
Which I guarantee you they're not.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think company does that. Like that unless they don't have anything else. Like as far as like IP, they don't have anything else to cater to. Like Bluepoint, who's like a PlayStation specific
Shadow of the Colossus and all that.
Yeah, like they don't have IP to work on or whatever. So they're just there to port things, you know, like Nintendo's not going to be like, you know what, Sakurai, maybe don't work on Smash Brothers DLC, port Smash Bros 64, you know, like they're not going to do that. Or a more extreme example, they're not going to be like,
we're doing that, then
yes,
I was just going to say, yeah, if they were doing that, then that would be a detriment to it. But otherwise, like, it's fine to have remasters and it's fun, you know, like, I don't know.
It's just, in this case, a lot of times remasters are giving people that wouldn't have had work to do. So I'm fine with it. And a lot of times, things like Grezzo.
And I mean, and also like and like giving content for release windows where there might not have been some otherwise, like Xenoblade Definitive Edition or whatever. I'm sure Monolith Soft is working on other games. That's not their only game, but like,
I mean, we know for sure they are.
Yeah. So in that sense, you know, now we just get to have that game, whereas we wouldn't have otherwise. And then it's not stuck on the Wii where it didn't have a lot of sales because they didn't make a lot of them and all that stuff. So Mario, where art thou, Mario? We'll see it later. But there you go. Hey, we got some Q&A, y'all. You want to do it?
No, I don't. Never again.
Oh, so sorry.
Ending. No,
all
I'm
right.
joking. We're doing it.
So, starting out with comments from last week. We got one comment from last week that was questions from Crazy Derp, who said, I've been so excited for a new ARMS game for a long time now. Do you think we could get it by the end of 2022 or earlier? And what TV show / background noise do you like to watch / hear while you play a game?
ARMS by the end of 2022. I don't know if I feel comfortable putting a time frame on it. Because there's no precedent, like it's a new IP, so there's no real way of knowing. I think that
would Splatoon be a precedent, do you think?
I don't even think that's a precedent because like with Splatoon, right, the first game took like 11 months to develop. And then they not rushed in the sense where it's like, this game sucks, it's a rush job or whatever, but they like expedited Splatoon 2 because it's like, oh my God, this is huge in Japan. People love this game. It would be great to have this relatively new IP that already has a huge fan base and is beloved at launch of this new platform. So I think that was a special case, whereas ARMS, like it did good, but I don't think it did well enough for them to like want to be like, all right, everybody freaking all hands on deck, working on ARMS 2 or whatever, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we saw ARMS 2 at any time from now until freaking 2025 or whatever, right? I'd be more surprised if we didn't see a follow-up to ARMS than if we did. I just don't know exactly when because I don't know what that team is doing, because usually they're the Mario Kart team. And we heard rumors about potentially getting a Mario Kart or some type of racing game this year or whatever. So if that's the Mario Kart game, then we're not getting it this year. But if the Mario Kart team's not making Mario Kart, they'll be making ARMS.
I'm with you. I have no extra opinions to add to those statements. I also did wonder though, with the Mario Kart thing, if with, the rumors being that so much Mario is coming this year, blah, 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 if the Mario Kart thing fits into that.
If
to
that's
be perfectly
like the holiday.
honest, yeah, if I'm being fully honest, like maybe it's just because of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and stuff. I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is or Mario Kart 8, whatever, is the best mechanically Mario Kart game
I agree
there is. However, somehow the not unlocking things and stuff like that, for me, made the single player feel more tedious.
I felt like freaking single player was tedious anyway. But.
I mean, because for me, that's most of what Mario Kart has been. Like, I just don't play, even. Yeah, so that's just that. So I'm like not that excited for another Mario Kart, but if they show it and it's like, oh, they're doing new things and they're going to show it, they're going to have new mechanics to it. So then I would get excited about it, So I think
I'm on the other end of that, and it's for that exact reason where it's like I don't play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at all unless I have to.
Yeah,
whether it be a stream or like a family member or a friend be like, "Yo, let's play Mario Kart," and I'm like, most times I'm like just straight up no. Like I'm like, nah, I don't want to play that game. But if I'll be like, I guess so. Every once in a while. But if it was a new Mario Kart, it wouldn't feel like this game that I've played for the past 5 years.
Right.
So yeah, like I'm down, dude. I'll freaking play Mario Kart 9 or whatever they want to call it.
Yep.
But Mario Kart 8 again, nah, I'm fine. I played hundreds of hours of that game on Wii U. I don't need to play more.
Yeah. And yeah, so he also asked, what TV show / background noise do you like to watch or hear while you play a game?
I usually listen to podcasts. I like the Rooster Teeth podcast. I've been listening to Red and Link's podcast recently called Ear Biscuits. That's pretty good. I like freaking shout out freaking Potscast and shout out Wolf Den Live, fam. Great podcast.
Yeah.
But also I listen to music. So I started listening to freaking, I started using YouTube Music because I used to use Google Music, but Google Music's like suggestion algorithm kind of sucks compared to YouTube Music for whatever reason. And it's weird because you would think that they would just straight up like copy and paste,
Yeah, right.
And also there's just more stuff to listen to on YouTube Music because they like everything just counts on there. So like it could be like some random cover and you could be like, nah, I just want the audio of this, and it just acts the same way in the system that like a regular song would. So I've been listening to that. too.
Can you like listen to like our videos on YouTube Music?
I don't,
for example.
I don't
Okay.
think so.
I guess it has to be in the music category or
because
something.
like
maybe.
music channels look different. Like
Right.
if you go to like
Yeah.
a band or artist YouTube channel, they have like the
Mm-hmm.
music note next to their thing, and then like their freaking I hate the layout of like musicians on YouTube. I hate it because they're like they give you like a selection of like these are songs and music videos that you want to listen to. I'm like no. I want to listen to the last thing, or I want to like go to something really specific or whatever. I don't want to like sift through this random thing of like these are the songs that we want people to hear or that we guess people
Right.
want to hear.
Yeah.
That I hate the layout of that because then you gotta like physically navigate to like their uploads and then click the drop down and then go to uploads. It's just freaking stupid. I hate it.
Yeah.
Hate it.
I can imagine. I don't have to deal with that. I use Spotify for the most part. But there it is.
I use Spotify, but then that was like on because I had Amazon. I have Amazon Prime, which they have their streaming service.
Yep.
I have freaking YouTube Premium, which they have two that comes with that Google Music and freaking YouTube Music. And then I had Apple Music. Because they used to have like exclusives and stuff, like freaking Chance the Rapper. He did a project on there, and like just a lot of people have exclusive stuff or used to. The streaming wars are dead or something,
pretty much.
So they don't do it anymore. So I had that, and I had Spotify because they also had some exclusive stuff. But now I just was like, nah, I'm done. Like I'm just gonna keep YouTube Music and then Amazon Prime because I have to, but I don't touch it. I've never touched Amazon streaming service. I don't even know.
Me neither. Honestly, like, so I have Spotify. We had Apple Music for a while, and then we got Spotify. And here's my thoughts. Its algorithm feels like the best of like for suggestions and stuff like that. So it feels like it does a good job of that. Playlists are well curated and that kind of thing. So that's good. But the actual like music, creating a library and like having that functionality where like an archival purpose of it does not do as good a job as I felt like Apple Music did, which I was like used to Apple Music
best at that one
because it kind of emulated iTunes as well. And I just got so used to iTunes that whole thing. But I think the thing with Spotify is it doesn't really want you to have an archive and library to listen to. It wants
you things.
Yes, exactly. So like it makes sense that they do that. But like I can't it's just annoying. So it's a little bit better than it used to be. I will say that much, but it's still pretty dumb. So
yeah, I'm like I've never really been tempted to like go back to Spotify. That was the one that was like, okay, whatever. Like, I mean, I agree with the algorithm, like it being really good at suggestions and stuff like that. But it's not enough to make me want to pay for it. But Apple Music, just how well integrated it is with just Apple's ecosystem in general, like that's their strong point, is that everything's well integrated. So just the like how seamless it feels in comparison to like, because there's like, even if it's like a few extra milliseconds to press the play button on my freaking headphone remote, play this thing on Google or YouTube or whatever, it's like, oh wait a second, let me see which streaming service you want to use or whatever. I have to think about it. Whereas if I was in Apple Music, it would just be like I could
the other nice thing with Apple Music for me was having my own music. You can like I could, have Apple Music be on the cloud where it downloads and stuff, but then also you can put your own music through the cloud that's somehow on their server and doesn't even touch your iCloud stuff. And that's nice. But as soon as you don't have Apple Music anymore, you can't do that. You have to like download it to your phone, which is such a pain. So
I don't have any music on my phone.
Yep.
Because of streaming services.
Yeah, it's true. They make it very nice. So there you go. There's all that. Here we
Stay
go.
tuned for our music podcast, fam.
It's true. Next question. This is from the YouTube community tab. Sam Diaz asks, what's a video game series you want to get into but haven't yet for reasons?
Did Max go away yet? Max go away. Metroid. Because I've played Metroid games, but it's always like I'll play like a few levels and it's like, all right, I'm done. I just don't want to play this anymore. And not because it's bad or nothing like that, but just because like it feels like I need to be invested and I just don't want to be on that level for something like that.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, honestly, like Metroid is one for me, just because I haven't really given it. I haven't really tried it barely at all. Actually, yeah, the only bit that I played a little bit of Metroid Prime, like a tiny bit on my GameCube, like 2 years ago or something. But the nuisance of hooking up the GameCube and actually using the TV for things instead of just playing handheld is so much more nuisancey than just playing on Switch. So.
And Metroid Prime specifically, I think like that's where I want to like jump in, because I've played Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 a little bit here and there. But I just feel like them remastering that and putting that on Switch will make you want to play through it more than like playing through like Super Metroid or whatever, because I know how much people like that game and whatever and blah blah blah. But I'm way less likely to like want to play through like a retro like Metroidvania when there's 50,000 games that are inspired by those games already on the eShop, and I'm just kind of burnt out on those already. So it feels like I'm playing yet another one of those, even though I'm playing the thing that inspired it.
Yeah, that's a real thing for sure. I think the other for me, like, there's a lot of just specific games that I'd like to, like The Witcher or Dragon Quest 11 or whatever, like specific games that I'd like to play. Franchise wise, I don't know if there's others that are like broader than that, but Metroid definitely feels like one of them. I don't know.
There it is.
There it is. Here's some questions from Discord, y'all. Let's do it. We didn't have any questions from Twitter, which
we had one question from Twitter.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh.
From well, he changed his name, but I'm still calling him Lizdrin. He said, "How do I kill the bunny?" Oh, also, I think we had a hold on, wait. I think we also had a question from Chris Dubuque too. I think I saw. Let me check fanatixfour Twitter.
Go check it,
because I could have sworn I saw one.
Maybe it was on your retweet of it, which I didn't.
Yes,
I wouldn't get the notifications.
She said, "How do you think the Switch shortage is going to affect Nintendo sales?" And then she also said, "Well, we'll answer this one first." So, how do you think the Switch shortage is going to affect Nintendo sales?
Like game sales or console sales? Apparently,
she just said sales.
So Benji Sales or whatever on, I think it was him, maybe it was somebody else, but apparently like still game console sales are doing surprisingly well considering all the shortages and all that. So I don't know. I mean, I guess that's why there's the shortages, but yeah, March has been like the highest March in a while. Seems like. So
I mean, the shortage has already affected Nintendo, like in Japan. They had like and even then it was like in Japan 2 years ago, like that's a phenomenal week, but they saw like 60,000 1 week or something like that, where usually they saw like 250. But then the new Switch Lite, the Coral one, came out, and then that bumped it right back up. So I think that like in the long term, I could see it having an effect on like the hardware sales. I don't think it's going. I think it might have, not the shortage, obviously, but I think this situation is going to have more of a positive effect than a negative one, unless it goes real long term to the point where it's like a huge swath of people are losing their jobs.
Right. Yeah. Because I think right now people are just trying to focus on entertainment and like just keeping themselves busy. Right. And so games are doing great for that. But I think you're right. Like at some point, if it's a money crisis and not a boredom crisis, then people are going to just not have the disposable income to be able to do stuff with in general. So, which could very well happen. I guess it all depends too, like what different countries do as far as money relief efforts or any of that kind of stuff. And if people still feel like they could have some of that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
So what's the second part of the question?
Then she says, also, do you like your meatloaf with gravy or ketchup?
None meatloaf. I'm going none meatloaf. I
don't really eat meatloaf.
Yeah, I don't know. My mom definitely never made meatloaf. So I don't know that I've had it more than like once in my life. If I remember right, meatloaf also has like nuts in it sometimes, and I don't know, like walnuts or something, or like crumbled up. I don't know. I feel like
in the comments,
something in my mind is like it's got little like sort of crunchy bits in it, and I'm not really into that.
I'm not really into crunchy bits, but
I'm into crunchy bits in like ice cream, totally, or like
fair.
other things.
But I will say I don't like ketchup. Ketchup can F off, so like it's by default, I guess gravy, man. Also, something that I don't understand is apparently like, and I don't know, I never heard like Bob say this, but some of my like, because I freaking, I'm from New Jersey and stuff. So like some of my Italian friends call like spaghetti sauce gravy. And I'm like, that's what they think of when you say gravy. They don't think like the brown or like the white chunky gravy.
Yeah.
Spaghetti sauce or red sauce. And they're like, that's gravy. I'm like, what? Like, I don't know.
Super weird. So to really answer the question, if I were to do either, I'd probably not go gravy because gravy can be fine. It also like, it's pretty hit or miss. I feel like where it just feels like salt sauce most of the time. If it's like brown gravy or whatever, like that's usually what it sort of feels like.
Like ketchup is like sweet salt sauce.
I mean, it is, but at least it's different from. It would add a different flavor, and
it would
probably
be
just
like,
not much.
It wouldn't feel like juice off of the meat or whatever, which is what it literally is. But still, like I don't like ketchup. Ketchup's gross.
Yeah, I'm fine with ketchup. I like it on. I like it on a couple like ketchup and mustard on hamburger, ketchup and mustard on a hot dog.
I'll eat ketchup on a hot dog. That's it.
Yep. But besides, there's so many other good sauces. Sauces are so good in general.
Yeah,
ketchup is not up there.
Me and Bob, we're in sync on sauces, dude. We're in sync.
Yeah,
like,
I'm Backstreet Boys on sauces. Let me tell you what.
a lot of times we'll just opt for none of it because like restaurants always give you too much.
I just get it on the side, I guess, if I think they're going to give me too much. Just deal with it myself.
Dealing too much.
Good questions, Chris the Butte. Now we know that I'm Backstreet Boys on sauce.
There we go.
There it is.
You learned the important things.
Indeed. All right. Questions from Discord. Duncan says, hello, AJ. With the rumors of the Mario anniversary blowout drumming up this amount of hype, do you guys think we could see something similar with other Nintendo franchises? I'd kill for a Zelda compilation on the Switch. Being able to play Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on the same system as Breath of the Wild would be nuts. I doubt that a Mother franchise anniversary would get the same treatment though. So if so, how would you determine which franchises get that treatment and which don't?
I actually wanted to make a video about this, and it was going to be my Tuesday video.
What? Here's my thoughts then.
I was going to make a video about all the anniversaries that we're not going to get cool remaster collections for. Pending title.
Yes, I like that, and I'll be interested to watch that. Here's my quick thoughts are that Nintendo doesn't use anniversaries as reasons to do things. They use things that happen to line up with anniversaries more so. They wanted to do some Mario stuff. It does, yeah.
Or the franchise, I should say.
Yeah.
Because I think that Zelda, for sure, 1000%. They're like, oh, yeah, we're doing anniversary stuff for Zelda.
Yeah.
Unless because freaking Zelda's development cycle is their worst one by far. Mm-hmm. It's like the most intensive. Those are the games that always get delayed.
Yeah.
But generally, they're like, they have something for the milestones. And Mario also. They generally have something for those milestones. And Pokemon, but Pokemon's Pokemon. So like, of course they're going to do their anniversaries because that's what they do. Pokemon Company that's their one thing. So of course they're going to celebrate their.
Honestly, outside of those ones, I'm trying to even think like Donkey Kong. They wouldn't do anything. Yeah, Kirby, maybe they would probably do something. Kirby,
yeah, they might do something for Kirby. They did like a collection for Kirby or whatever on the Wii.
On the Wii, yep. Yeah, I think there's a lot that they just like. I guess that's why I'm thinking they don't think of a number and be like, this is an important number for a franchise. We should do something because it's more like this is an important franchise that hit a number. Well, like we were going to do a Mario thing anyway. Let's do it. Let's do a big old thing.
Yeah. You said you wanted to do Mario 64, right? Let's do everything.
Yeah. Let's do all exactly. So, and I do wonder too with this Mario 64 thing. I mentioned in the video how like N64 games theoretically would be coming to Nintendo Switch Online this year if the timeline is just doing that. And I wonder how if that were the case, do we still get Mario 64 on the N64 games or do we not or whatever? I don't know.
The thing that I'd be interested to see is if they end up doing a freaking. I think that the fact that Miyamoto was like, I don't really want to remake Mario 64. Like, does that say anything about this? Like, is it because a lot of times Miyamoto does the Sakurai thing, where sometimes he'll stick to it, but other times he's like, yeah, I freaking hate.
When did he say that?
And then he said like he was talking about the idea of remakes. It was like a while ago, like more than 2 years ago. He was like talking about he doesn't like remakes or whatever, and the idea of remaking Mario 64 doesn't appeal to him and all that stuff. So I wonder if he will like backtrack on that, or if this would just be a thing of like, nah, man, we got the tech to do it in the way that I want to do it, or whatever.
Or I also wonder how
like,
involved
the young team wanting it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like maybe he's not that directly involved in, is just overseeing it and that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's honestly, yes, Zelda though, if I really hope, like you said, that they do stuff next year for a Zelda thing, because that would be so great for this to be now the definitive, this is the Zelda console where you get all your Zeldas. How the Wii U was. Yeah, exactly.
Or is currently.
Yep, that's true.
Because still it has Breath of the Wild.
It does.
Only thing it doesn't have is Link's Awakening, freaking the new one on the Switch.
Cadence of Hyrule.
That's also true.
And that's like the classicest Zelda game.
The quintessential Zelda.
Question from Lord Commander Grimhane said, why is Nintendo sending me a code for a service that they can easily tell me I'm exempted from? They know I'm a Nintendo Switch Online subscriber, yet insist upon sending me a trial code for NSO since I downloaded Animal Crossing New Horizons. Use your data better, Nintendo. I didn't know they gave.
I didn't know that either.
Because Ashley would have used it if so. Whatever. We paid $4 for 3 months, so we're good.
Oh, but then again, I got mine I gotta check my other email because I got mine from the Australian eShop. So that might be why I didn't get a code for that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Maybe it is a thing of like, I think Duncan said something about that. Oh yeah, here it is.
He said, so you give it to a friend and convince them to buy a sub when they visit your island.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
I could see that being the case, or even not. Well, the rationale to you, like to communicate to you, is to be like, "Hey, give it to your friend," not necessarily to tell them like so that they'll buy the thing. Like they'll probably just say, "Give it to a friend so they can check it out" or whatever, and hopefully then they get it and then they buy in. You know.
I mean, especially because the people you're going to play with are going to be other Nintendo Switch Online subscribers, because there are also going to be ones with Animal Crossing. So like you'll be playing Animal Crossing with them. If they also got the same free thing, everybody's got it. They can all try it out. So just making sure that everybody's bases are covered to be able to play it online and stuff like that seems like good PR or good business. In any case, and Grimhane said, all my friends are smart enough to see the value in Nintendo Switch Online since it's a cup of coffee a month or less.
It's true. It's
quite a lot less depending on where you get the coffee from. If it's a Starbucks coffee, that's a coffee every like 3 months at that point, because it's like,
I mean, in most places, Switch Online is significantly less than a cup of coffee. Especially freaking Grimhane lives in New York. So, like, it's way less than the average coffee there.
Yep. I mean, I guess unless you're talking about, like, McDonald's $1 coffees or something like that. But still, you get the point. Grimhane, you got it. You're good smarts up in there or something. Next question. Chicapo88. Favorite game soundtrack? ?
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Every time. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this a couple of times, I guess. For me, probably, until it gets rocked by something else, Breath of the Wild, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Those are like...
But the non-cheating answer is Cadence of Hyrule. Cadence of Hyrule's music is...
Hyrule is good.
Yeah, it's good. Which even that I feel like is cheating, but, you know. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? I mean, like, yeah, what if somebody said, like, Rhythm Heaven or something like that? That would be, well, I mean, those are still original songs, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Last
Tony
question.
Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Oh, yeah. I just watched a video, actually. It's fun. So there's a channel that I follow that does it's like a music channel, and it's mostly a guy that talks about like metal and punk and stuff like that, and it's always very interesting things. But one of the videos he put out this week was what bands should be on Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5.
They already made that game.
Or not Pro Skater 5, sorry, the next Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2020 or whatever. And yeah, so it was fun to watch because I was like, I don't know most of these bands because I don't really keep up with, I guess, a lot of
snappers.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I keep up with the subset of metal that I listen to, and then there's just so much other stuff that apparently is like very popular with the kids, and I don't really know. I thought I was still a kid. But last question. This is from Mega Man. I am. Who said? Also, I just noticed Chicapo 88 and Mega Man 087. I guess it's just the years they were born. So that makes sense now.
Yeah, freaking Mega Man was born in freaking 1087.
You got it. Oh, yeah, good point. He says, hey, guys, hope you're both keeping well and safe. With it no longer safe to go outside, have you learned to cook a new meal? If so, what was it? And if not, what would you love to learn to make? #FanatixFoods.
I don't know. Like the thing about it that's weird is like just like as a creative person, I find cooking to be so interesting, but not interesting enough to like, dedicate time to like really learn how to do it, like just like I'll see like freaking scrolling through Facebook or even Twitter now with like a lot like Crunchyroll does stuff like that where like the cooking videos where it's like look at this like over the like overhead shot of us making this thing, and I'll see that, and every time if it's like a 2-minute thing, I'll watch the whole thing, and I have no intention of making it, but it's just interesting to watch it like start from nothing and be the thing. It's like, oh, they made it. That's neat. But not enough.
Honestly, yeah, I haven't. For the most part, for me, we can't even find all of the ingredients for most recipes.
You already make,
So most of the things we're eating are pretty easy things. So like pasta and like I don't know, hamburgers or something like that. Just stuff that's like just 1 or 2 ingredients, because if it needs 5 ingredients, 2 of those are not going to be in stock at the store. So that said, things I'd like to learn to make, I don't know, something tasty. I might as well take this opportunity to learn to cook chicken better.
That's true. That's true.
Because I am never just chicken. Anytime I cook it, it just tastes like it's just tough and not flavorless.
Have you cooked chicken again since the last time?
Not since the last time.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are the last chicken breasts we had, and
you squandered them.
All the way. I think some of it also is probably, I realize I buy frozen chicken breasts, and then I think I thaw them, or I know I thaw them not the right way. So that's probably a lot of it. Is like if I thawed them correctly, or in the time where they get all,
you end up like overcooking it because you're like compensating for the fact that it's like not completely thawed and stuff, and then it dries out, and then it's
probably
gross and grainy and
yeah. But I make pretty good hamburgers, so that's good.
Yeah, man.
There it is. Hey, you know what? And you know who else makes good hamburgers? The comment section. Leave some comments down below. And
how do you make your hamburger?
Tell us. There you go. Yeah. Or what do you put on your hamburgers? Also, I'd like to know. Just in general, let us know.
Yeah, this is a good way to sift people out. Everybody that puts ketchup on it is canceled.
All right, I'm canceled.
Of course, you've been canceled for years.
Decades even, since the beginning of time. Yep. But you know what, guys? That's it from this podcast. We will keep on seeing you. Sure. You'll keep on seeing us. We'll keep on listening to reading the words you say, hearing the sounds of something.
Yes. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at all the Twitters. Everything's in the description, dude. Tell your mom that you love her, Say, yo, Dad, what's up, man? And have a good day. Goodbye.